Hello everybody and welcome to the 100% Pure Elvis channel. Thank you for taking the time out to join me today, and if you are new to the 100% Pure Elvis channel, welcome aboard. Now today I am sharing with you a great book that I have added to my collection recently by the brilliant Paul Alner, and the book in question is Elvis On Record Volume 1, 1956 to 1965. It is a robust book, really well put together with over 500 pages on the reverse, and it talks you through all the different variations, labels from the years 1956 to 1965. I ain't going to have an opportunity to go through every page, but what I am going to share with you is some information from the book itself. Now, what Paul does is he absolutely talks through every single release between the years 1956 to 1965, and what you get to see in this magnificent book is all the different variations of the releases, either on 45, 78 RPM and albums, and his master's voice different labels, and the RCA different labels across the years. And what you also get to see is what chart number they reached in the charts, with how many weeks they were on the charts also. And I think the book is so well put together by Paul, and I know at this moment in time Paul is in the process of doing volume 2 of Elvis On Record. Now again, for me, I've had a good look through this book, and it took me quite a while to, I will admit, to understand what all the different variations and catalogue numbers were about. Being an avid Elvis collector on vinyl, I was so shocked to see how many different catalogue numbers and vinyls that each Elvis release was released on. And I think Paul has done an outstanding job of putting this together for the Elvis market. And for me, if you have the opportunity to purchase this book and support Paul, you will not be disappointed, because for me, it's took me a good month to get to look through all of this book. And for me, I love looking at all the different variations of the releases, and Paul gives in-depth text next to each releases and gives great provenance to also if the releases are rare or very rare. And again, I think for me, the time Paul must have spent putting this together is just outstanding, and I think it's such a well put together book. And you know, when I received this into my collection, I was so happy, because again, this is the type of book that I've never had in my collection. I've got other books in my collection which feature Elvis vinyl, but not one as informative as this book. It goes through every single release from 1956 to 1965. And again, I just think if you are a collector of all things Elvis on vinyl, you need this book in your collection, because someone like myself, I love getting as much information as possible on Elvis and his releases. And again, for me, what Paul has done, he has put together a book that is second to none. And it's a book you can return to time and time again, I believe. And again, I know Paul is watching this upload. And Paul, I did say I would do a page by page review. I just think it would just take far too long, and I just really wanted to get the bullet points across as to what this book is about. And I hope you're not disappointed by that, but Paul, you've done an amazing job with some great images of Elvis inside and the different sleeve designs as well. I think it's such a great touch. And Paul, if you are watching, can you put more information in the comments below as to how you were able to put together such an outstanding book on Elvis on record? I just think, again, someone like me, I'd love more information on how this book came about, and how long in total, Paul, did it take you from the beginning to its release date? And what I'm fascinated with is also, when I was looking through this book, how many of the vinyls that I actually do not own in my collection. Because as Paul states in this book, there's so many that are rare or very rare, or they're quite expensive. Some of the original vinyls, you ain't going to get a hold of them. And for me, I was quite sure. I must admit, I know Elvis. There's a lot released in the early years, but I didn't realise actually how much was released, and it just goes to show the power of the man. But some great images and great front sleeve covers throughout the book as well. And again, what Paul does, he shares with you all the different HMV labels, with Nipper the dog on, some HMV ones without Nipper the dog, the RCA labels with the black RCA and the red dotted RCA, and the later ones with the orange RCA. So this one here is hard-headed woman, and again, so informative when he shares with you. So there you go. These are some of the RCA ones. See the differences on some of them record labels there. And what Paul talks about is the difference in the catalog numbers. And so some vinyls will be it's a fourth release or a fifth release, and you might not pick that up if you're purchasing it. You might think you are picking up an original release, but it will be the fourth release of that album. And I think that's such a great touch, and all the different colours. I mean, this green one here of the RCA, I'd never seen that before, and this is promoting Jailhouse Rock. Absolutely loved that. And again, page by page, just goes through all the different variations. So you're going on to the Christmas album here. And I think for me, I'm really looking forward to getting a hold of Volume 2, because again, I know Paul is really trying his best to get that release for around August time, I do believe. And please, if you get the opportunity to contact Paul to get one of these into your collection, you will not be disappointed. I do believe the book is £120, but it's money well spent. And again, they are limited editions as well. So here we've got Peace in the Valley, all shook up here. So I mean, it's not all about the record labels. Shares with you some great images as well. So here's some HMV ones down the bottom right there. Get closer in there for you. There you go. Look at them. Look at that. That's for Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog. The blue one down below, that is a HMV 78 RPM. Isn't that lovely? So many different. So as you can see, you got the classic orange RCA ones, and I like here the RCA Red Seal albums. You don't get to see them a great deal, the Red Seal albums. And there we go. Going virtually to the beginning of the book. Try and get a few more pages in. That might not have shit. Look at that. So, look, that's another. Look, that's great as well, isn't it? Stunning. Let me get that. I want to show you. There you go. This is for Elvis Is Back. Great album. All the different variations there. Look at that one as well. Like pink and green. Isn't that gorgeous? Stunning. But I think, for me, Paul has done such an amazing job putting this book together for us Elvis fans. And here you go. Another one. And there we go. A Mess of Blues, The Girl of My Best Friend. All with the same image on the front. And it says here, Elvis with double try. I'm going to, so as you can see up here in the top left, he shares with you the chart number and how many weeks it was in the chart for. That's a great touch. Again, this is for It's Now or Never, Make Me Know It. And on the right, we have the one-sided RP45 demo. And on the bottom, solid center of variation 1. It's quite a heavy book as well. So I'm struggling lifting it actually. There we go, look at that. So that's For Such a Night. That is like the orange RCA label. That's when I started collecting Elvis. I think some of the first albums that I purchased on Elvis were the orange label RCA. Look at that one. Ah, for GI Blues. Stunning. Okay, look, here we go. So many different songs from GI Blues. So you got GI Blues, Shopping Around, Did You Ever, Big Boots, Pocket Full of Rainbows, all with the same image. So I mean, it goes through every album, every single, between the years 1956 to 1965. Written and researched by Paul Alner. Here you go. That's a great. I was looking at that. That's a great one there. That's from Flaming Star on the right there. Are you lonesome tonight? I gotta know, with some Elvis Presley newspaper cuttings there. Trying to find some pages I've not shown you as yet. This is for Surrender and Lonely Man, with the classic RCA orange label there, Victor. Paul, something you could answer for me if you don't mind. Why is it on some labels it says RCA Victor and then on other labels it's just RCA? I've never understood that. You know, if you could let me know in the comments below, Paul, I'd be so interested to know. I think I've shown that page. And again, I might have missed it in the book, Paul, but I really don't know why some of them have got RCA Victor and some of them haven't. And like this page here, isn't it, Paul? So you got on the top RCA and then below you got the RCA Victor with the orange RCA dot in the middle there. Sentimental Me, I Slipped, I Stumbled, I Fell, I Want You With Me. A great album, Something for Everybody. So highest chart position of number 2, weeks on chart 13, and that was November of 61. It re-entered the UK chart on 17th of February 1962. Highest chart position 14, weeks on chart number 4. Re-entered UK chart on the 14th of the 4th 62 with the highest chart position of 18, weeks on chart 1 week. So I mean, Paul has also put the information at the side as well. It's a great touch. So I am going to have to finish off soon because my arm's hurting. So Elvis On Record, the definitive guide to the UK record releases, Volume 1, 1956 to 1965. So this only covers Elvis's UK record releases, and Volume 2 is coming real soon, I do believe. I was in contact with Paul recently, and I think he was saying around August time. And again, on the back, another great image of Elvis, which I've shared with you before. So before I close off, again, I'm going to put a link or the email address to how you can contact Paul to order this book. I don't know how much stock Paul has of this book, but with Volume 2 coming out real soon, it will help Paul to get Volume 2 out sooner, I do believe. And he will really appreciate your support on purchasing this book. And again, all books are a limited edition numbered copy and they're signed. And for me, Elvis On Record Volume 1, it is the ultimate guide to Elvis's UK releases from 1956 to 1965. A great job by Paul, well researched, well written, well put together in a robust and sturdy book. It's a book you have to have in your Elvis collection. So again, if you would like any more information on this book release, please don't hesitate to ask myself in the comments below. And I will also put a link to Paul as to where you can purchase this great book. So again, thank you, Paul, for taking the time out to put together that book for us all, and very well researched, written and put together. And I thoroughly enjoy looking at that book. I still look at that book most nights when I'm at home, even though I've gone through the book thoroughly. I think it's the sort of book that, as you're collecting Elvis on vinyl from the early years, it's a book you can return to and look at that book and look at the catalogue numbers and see is it rare or not a rare release. And I think that's a great touch, all the different variations from the original to the second, third, fourth release, even fifth release. And as we all know, Elvis Presley On Record he had so many vinyl releases over the years. You could pick up a copy that you think it's an original, and it's not. I've been caught out on that before because it looks original. The vinyl inside looks original, but as Paul states in that book with the catalogue numbers, he goes in depth as to what you've got to look for to see what variation that is. And I think that's such a great touch. So again, thank you, Paul, for putting that book together. Thank you for sending it out to me. And sorry it took me a while to get that reviewed. And again, I hope I've done a good enough review for you. I just think I wanted to give it justice, and I wanted to give my subscribers on 100% Pure Elvis a good enough review to be able to think to themselves if they would like to add it to their collection. Now, for me, as an avid collector of Elvis on book, vinyl, CD, etc., I would personally say this is a book you've got to add to your collection. I am not the sort of person that would say different. If I didn't think it was a good book or was too expensive, I would say so. I think the price of the book, some people might think that is top heavy for me to purchase, but it's well worth the money. It's an investment. It is a book you will go back to time and time again. And again, you know, you might be able to pick up a second-hand copy online. I'm not sure, but please go to Paul. You know, I will send you the link below. You know, he would be more than appreciative of your support on this book. So before I sign off, please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Love to you all. Speak soon, everybody. Bye-bye.